Greetings, salutations, and all that other sort of stuff. Thought of the day, don't really have a thought, except that I do. One of the reasons I wanted to come on, one of the reasons I'm doing this is to post some things in response to and reaction to what's going on in our country and our society. This is really not heard, but it is an alarm that I'm raising. And good Lord willing, some people will start to hear it. I just saw a clip that a company in California, the Shake Shack, settled to make a payment to a former employee who claimed that employee claimed to have been misgendered. And in California, your words can cost you money if you don't submit and comply with the transites. They say they are, therefore you must act like they are, and you must speak like a trained dog. You are a trained dog. That's all it is. Speak. Whatever pronouns they use, whatever gender they say they are. That is in Michigan apparently passed a law that made it illegal to misgender someone. So someone who's a man who says, I'm a woman, you have to say, that emperor, he looks so good in those clothes. Do you understand that that is not thought control, that's speech control? We have freedom of speech declared as an unalienable right that exists before government does. These governments that are imposing these things, they are wrong. California, Michigan with Governor Whitmer, well, these aren't surprises. These Democrats will do and say virtually anything to march you to conformity and submission. Are you going to go along with it? I think this will need to be taken to court, ultimately to the Supreme Court, and 6 of the justices who believe in our Constitution and who understand it will say no. I have the possibility that the newest justice, who can't define what a woman is, will also say, no, you can't do this. Because as a black, she's not sure if she's a woman because she can't define what a woman is, but as a black person in America, she ultimately has to know that the protections declared in the Constitution are essential to our freedoms. Because black people, for years and years and years and years, not slavery time, after slavery when they were free, still had to watch their mouths. They had to watch their words. Because freedom of speech was not accorded to them in the same way it was to other citizens. She will never see this, but I'm calling on her to stand against speech codes, stand against the requirement that people must speak a certain way. That has always been terrible for Black Americans when other people's rights are compromised. Because, I mean, it's not even a half a brainer. Stand for the rights of people to make statements that you don't like. I have no intention of insulting someone. I respect people. But you tell me that I must speak a lie. I will be the one saying the emperor, I can't tell you the emperor looks good in his clothes because he's not wearing any. I will be the one to do that. Don't try me because I will be the one to do it. And you cannot make me lie for your craziness. You can't make me lie to do that. What about you? Are you willing to go along with the absurdity of falsehoods that you must declare to be true? If you have any wondering about how this has played out in the past, make a comment below. I'm not insulting whoever's listening to this, if anyone should ever listen to it, but I am gobsmacked by how ignorant so many people are. How many black people in this country are so ignorant of who the Democratic Party is. The party of slavery, the party of Jim Crow, the party of keep them on the plantation. That is the Democratic Party. The party of we do not want you to think for yourselves. The party of, oh, if he's black and he uses his own mind, he's an Uncle Tom. Hey, if you're Jewish, do you have any sense of Jewish history when Jews were restricted? Any sense of that? Any recollection of that? When you are a true minority, you must push for and support the respect for the individual. Because the smallest minority, most vulnerable minority is the individual. The Jehovah's Witness in 1943, the case reached the Supreme Court in 1943, who was found to have the right not to pledge allegiance to the flag because he would not swear to anyone but God. That was his religious conviction. The Supreme Court found for him, even though the large majority were furious at that decision. Hit me up in a comment, make a comment, pass this along, share it, challenge yourself. Are you an Uncle Tom? Now, if you knew who the real Uncle Tom was, you wouldn't say you were an Uncle Tom unless you have courage, unless you're wise enough to outsmart those who are trying to oppress you. If you are a real Uncle Tom, you've got a brain that you use and you're clever. But if you are the Uncle Tom, the way they smear people today, then go ahead. Call a man or woman and don't pass this along. Son of Liberty 2020, amliberty2020 at gmail.com, thelibertyhub.com, taverntalks.locals.com. I'm speaking my mind, standing on my feet until the day comes where I don't have either. But I will not submit. I will not comply. I will not be a brainless, mindless automaton. I will not submit to the Democratic Party's tyranny. This is what they do in China. See you next time.